Hello there. My name is Saurav Aneja, and I'm the author of the book Atomic Mind. Today, I'd like to take you on a journey through one of the chapters from my book, a chapter that speaks to a phenomena we all experience but seldom understand. The topic is fear. Specifically, we'll be exploring the concept of the self-fulfilling prophecy of unresolved fear. Now, you might ask, why this topic? It's because fear is one of the most common, yet powerful emotions we experience as human beings. It is a force that shapes our lives in many ways, often without us realizing it. And by understanding fear, we can take control and use it as a catalyst for growth and transformation rather than let it limit us. I'm here to share insights from my book that will help you understand fear, to free yourself from the grip, and lead a life less burdened by fear. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of the atomic mind. So in this video, we are going to learn the concept of self-fulfilling fear. Here we will understand how unresolved fear can turn into self-fulfilling prophecies and affect our realities. We are also going to see many real-life examples of self-fulfilling fear, such as in the areas of health, public speaking, business, and relationships. We will see the impact of how fear impacts or affects these areas of our lives. Thirdly, we are going to see societal self-fulfilling fears. Here we are going to understand how unresolved fears can impact nations, companies, and large groups, taking examples from history. Then we will look at fear loops, how fears can turn into perpetual loops and create powerlessness and erode our self-confidence. And ultimately, we are going to look at the techniques to break these self-fulfilling fear loops. So we are going to learn a systematic approach, step-by-step approach to overcome self-fulfilling fears and harness their energy for positive outcomes in our life. So with that, let me turn to my book here. Let's begin. Chapter 11, the self-fulfilling prophecy of unresolved fear. Fear unresolved is a prophecy foretold by changing perception, we break its hold. Have you ever had a fear that you were unable to shake off despite your best efforts? Did that unresolved fear create the dreaded situation you desperately tried to avoid? Perhaps a worry over your health spiraled into an actual ailment. Maybe an interview, which had been a source of worry from the start, didn't unfold as you hoped. Or a relationship you hesitated to commit to fractured despite your best efforts. This phenomena is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If any of this resonates, take heart. You are far from alone. People across the world wrestle with similar experiences regularly. But how does this happen? How do our fears transform from internal worries to physical reality, turning into self-fulfilling prophecies? Can our fears truly shape our external reality? And if so, how does this process unfold? What unseen mechanisms might be at play? Most importantly, do we have the power to break free from such menacing fears and manifest positive outcomes instead? The answer to these pressing questions form the backbone of this chapter. The framework for the desired forces we have developed in the previous chapters holds the key to solving this puzzle. The force that converts everyday fears into self-fulfilling prophecies is repulsion. Using the relatable example of examination fear, we will unmask the role of repulsion and begin our journey towards understanding and ultimately mastering our fears. Prepare to embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation as we unravel the intricate dance between fear, perception, and reality. Lisa's examination fear, a case study. Consider Lisa, a diligent college student on the brink of her final examinations. Despite her dedicated preparation, she struggles with a troubling fear of failure. This fear, over time, morphs into a crippling force, eroding her motivation and impairing her ability to study. As the examination date looms, Lisa's fear materializes into reality. She underperforms, thus validating her self fulfilling prophecy. This case offers a compelling illustration of how unresolved fear can impact our lives and create a vicious cycle that is difficult to break free from. We'll employ the Nitya Desire Force framework to unravel Lisa's predicament and the mental forces at play. Firstly, we must identify the underlying desire. Lisa's fear of underperformance threatens her desire to excel in her examinations and gain recognition as a capable student. The stakes are high because her degree and future job may depend on her examination performance. This makes the intensity of desire particularly strong. The perceived distance is the time leading up to the examination. Perception of threat initiates repulsion. However, at the heart of the problem lies in the perceived value. Lisa's fear has distorted her view of the examination event, transforming it into a symbol of potential failure. This phenomena is aligned with cognitive distortion, a psychological mechanism where people's perception of reality is negatively skewed. This feeling makes her perceive the examination event as threatening to the underlying desire. As per our framework, the resulting force is repulsion. By association, this repulsion extends to related concepts such as study materials, assignments, and maybe even the classroom and the teacher. Consequently, she begins to experience physical discomfort when attempting to study. Much like the repulsion between two magnets, she expends enormous energy merely trying to start her studies. The fear of underperformance amplifies this repulsion, sapping her energy, disrupting concentration, and impairing memory retention. Repulsion increases as examination event approaches. To make matters worse, as the examination draws near, the perceived distance decreases, amplifying repulsion. This further undermines her motivation to study. Although she continues to work hard, most of her energy is now spent overcoming the repulsion, negatively impacting her cognitive skills. Fear manifests as reality. By the day of the examination, Lisa has not covered the syllabus adequately due to insufficient study time. Her concentration, motivation, and memory retention have been significantly compromised, with much of her energy channeled into overcoming repulsion. Consequently, Lisa's performance suffers, confirming her initial fear and creating a self fulfilling prophecy. The fear of failure has thus resulted in a vicious cycle leading to her underperformance. Stages of self fulfilling fear. Using Lisa's example, we can identify fear's exact path to becoming a self fulfilling prophecy. Stage 1, appearance of fear. Fear emerges when the individual perceives a threat to an underlying desire. For Lisa, the threat was the prospect of underperforming in her exams. Stage 2, shift to negative perceived value. Fear affects the individual's perception of an event or object crucial to achieving their desire. The event or object is now seen as threatening to the desire, leading to a shift in its perceived value. Lisa started seeing the exams as an adverse event due to her fear of failure. Stage 3, creation of repulsive force. Per the Nitya Desire Force framework, when a situation or object is perceived as harmful to a desire, the resulting mental force is repulsion. Lisa started to experience repulsion towards the examination and related activities. Stage 4, experience of negative effects. The repulsion force consumes energy, hinders focus, and affects other essential factors like motivation, reducing the individual's efficiency and effectiveness. Lisa's study time was inadequate due to her struggle against repulsion. Stage 5, increase in repulsion force. As the event, which is perceived as threatening, approaches, the perceived distance decreases, intensifying the repulsion and its harmful effects. As Lisa's exams neared, her exhaustion and struggles increased. Stage 6, underperformance due to repulsion. The effects of repulsion culminate in the individual underperforming, failing to meet their desire, or not fully engaging in necessary activities to achieve their desire. Lisa underperformed in her exams due to her insufficient study time and decreased cognitive capabilities caused by the repulsion. Stage 7, manifestation of the fear. The underperformance or lack of engagement confirms the initial fear, thereby validating the self fulfilling prophecy. Lisa's fear of failure became a reality after receiving a low grade. Every fear that becomes a self fulfilling prophecy goes through these stages. We will apply this knowledge to mitigate fears before they can manifest into undesirable outcomes. But first, let us see how our most common fears can become self fulfilling. More real life examples. Let's explore other situations in life which can result in self fulfilling fears in the context of the various stages. The fear of rejection in dating. Consider someone attracted to another person, yet paralyzed by the fear of rejection. The underlying desire is their wish to form a relationship with this person. However, their fear of a negative response leads to an action inhibiting repulsion towards expressing their feelings or asking for a date. Consequently, their fear manifests into reality when the person of their affection remains unaware of their feelings and possibly begins dating someone else. The fear of public speaking. An individual who fears public speaking might inherently desire recognition and advancement in their career. However, their fear turns presentations and meetings, which are opportunities to develop their speaking skills, into objects of repulsion. This leads to increased anxiety when they must present in front of an audience. As a result, their performance suffers, reinforcing their fear and creating a self fulfilling prophecy. The fear of failure in business. For an entrepreneur, the underlying desire could be successful business ownership. However, fearing financial loss and failure can create a repulsive force towards actualizing their startup idea. This repulsion can paralyze them, stopping them from taking necessary actions to adapt or evolve. As business starts to suffer, their fear is reinforced, proving their self fulfilling prophecy of failing due to fear induced inaction. The fear of loss in investment. An investor might desire wealth growth via stock market investment. However, the fear of losing money can incite a repulsion towards investing or cause them to withdraw funds at the first sign of a downturn. Consequently, they might miss out on gains during market upswings, their fear of financial loss manifesting as stagnant wealth growth due to their avoidance behavior. Fear of health problems. Suppose someone fears a negative health diagnosis. This can create repulsion towards medical consultations, even when they experience concerning symptoms. This fear induced delay could allow a condition to worsen, leading to severe health issues. The person's fear of an adverse health diagnosis might become a self fulfilling prophecy as their health deteriorates due to delayed treatment. In these examples, the underlying fear results in a repulsive force that leads to inaction or harmful actions. This creates the exact situation they were afraid of, thus confirming the self fulfilling prophecy of unresolved fear. The key to breaking this cycle is identifying and altering the perception that causes this repulsion. Now, let's look at examples of societal self fulfilling fears. Self fulfilling fears don't just affect individuals, they can impact nations, companies, and groups of people as well. Let's look at a few examples. Pearl Harbor attack. Before the attack on Pearl Harbor, US military commanders feared a surprise Japanese assault. This fear resulted in a repulsion towards the perceived threat, leading them to relocate the Pacific Fleet to Pearl Harbor, believing it would deter Japanese aggression. Instead, this action made the fleet an easy target and the feared surprise attack came to pass on December 7, 1941. Y2K fears. Leading up to 2000, there was a widespread fear of computer systems malfunctioning due to the Millennium Bug or Y2K problem. This fear created a repulsion towards the possibility of a massive technological failure. This drove organizations worldwide to spend an estimated $300 billion to $600 billion to fix a problem that ultimately resulted in very few significant malfunctions. The actions taken in response to this fear became a costly, self-fulfilling prophecy. Bank runs. In a bank run, depositors fear their bank will run out of money. This fear creates a repulsion towards the possibility of losing their money, leading them to rush to withdraw their deposits as soon as possible. This sudden mass withdrawal can cause the bank to run out of cash, validating the initial fear and forcing the bank to fail. The most recent examples of bank runs include Silicon Valley Bank and First Republic Bank in 2023. Fear can create perpetual loops. Unaddressed fear can not only manifest bad outcomes in our life, but it can also make us more vulnerable to future fears. Before the first occurrence of fear, we might have faith in our ability to achieve our goals. But as fear becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, such as underperforming in an exam due to anxiety, we begin to validate our fears. We proclaim, I knew this would happen, or maybe I'm not capable enough. We become increasingly convinced of our limitations if we continue to validate these fears. This can lead to a dangerous cycle in which each subsequent fear and failure validate each other. This pattern of negative reinforcement can cause you to doubt even your best abilities and positive attributes. In this way, fear can create a perpetual loop of powerlessness, eroding your self-confidence. This crucial insight underscores the importance of confronting fear and breaking out of these endless loops. Now, the solution: breaking fear loop. Stopping the self-fulfilling prophecies of our fears comes down to one thing. Can we get rid of the repulsion? The secret lies in shifting the perceived value of the feared events. Below, I am sharing the process you can use to break out of your fear loops. Step 1. Identify and acknowledge your fear. The first step to overcoming fear is identifying and acknowledging its existence. By bringing your fear to the forefront of your mind, you can begin to dissect and understand its roots. Step 2. Reconnect with your underlying desire. Fear often causes us to lose sight of our original desires. To overcome fear, remind yourself of the underlying desire that motivated you in the first place. Reconnecting with your true intentions can help you refocus and regain motivation. Step 3. Reframe your perception of the feared event. Reevaluate the perceived value of the feared event and consider its potential benefits. Transform your negative perception into a positive one by focusing on how it can contribute to fulfilling your underlying desire. Let us look at how we can apply this to the real-life examples we discussed before. Fear of rejection. Instead of being consumed by the fear of rejection, focus instead on the potential joy and companionship a relationship could bring. Remember that rejection is merely a sign that it wasn't the right match, guiding you closer to the right person. The fear of public speaking. Rather than seeing public speaking as a dreaded task, consider it an avenue to demonstrate your knowledge, engage with others, and advance your career. See each opportunity as a chance to improve and build your skills. The fear of failure in business. Rather than letting the fear of failure hinder your entrepreneurial spirit, view each setback as a lesson learned, pushing you closer to success. Successful business owners have had their share of failures. They are stepping stones, not roadblocks. The fear of loss in investment. Instead of being scared of potential losses, perceive investments as a way to grow your wealth over the long term. Understand that market downturns are temporary and staying invested through market cycles is part of the journey towards financial growth. Fear of health problems. Instead of letting fear prevent you from seeking medical advice, consider each visit a step towards better health. Early detection and treatment often lead to better outcomes, so focus on the care and healing medical consultation can provide. By reframing your perceptions this way, you are not just eradicating repulsion, you are also creating an attractive force towards the experiences necessary for manifesting your desire. Step 4. Celebrate your progress and successes. Acknowledge and celebrate small achievements as you overcome your fears. Recognizing your growth and progress can boost your self confidence, reinforce the positive aspects of your desires, and further strengthen your resolve. Breaking fear loops will help you achieve your goals and enhance your overall well being and quality of life. Remember that progress takes time and you must be patient with yourself throughout the process. The fear loops you live with today can be strong because of decades of reinforcements, but armed with the powerful knowledge and the precise process presented in this chapter, you can be free from self fulfilling fears once and for all. Key takeaways: fear obscures the underlying desire. Fear can create aversion towards the elements necessary for achieving your desires. Fear depletes our energy as we struggle against its repulsive force. Unaddressed fear transforms into a self fulfilling prophecy. Fear perpetuates itself at your expense, increasing susceptibility to future fears and eroding self confidence. The secret to breaking fear induced self fulfilling prophecies lies in acknowledging the fear, reconnecting with your underlying desire, and reframing your perception of the object. So I hope that you were able to gain some valuable knowledge from this video. I thank you for joining me today as we explored this chapter, The Self-Fulfilling Prophecy of Unresolved Fear, from my book, The Atomic Mind. As we've discovered, fear can be a powerful force in our lives, but we hold the power to understand it, navigate it, and ultimately transform it. If you found this reading enlightening and believe that the insights shared today can assist you in handling fear in your life, you'll find even more strategies in the complete book, Atomic Mind. This book is a journey of self discovery and transformation, a roadmap to understanding our desires, fears, and how they shape our reality. I invite you to grab your copy of The Atomic Mind. It's available on Amazon worldwide. So, dare to dive deeper, dare to discover your atomic mind. Thanks again for your time today, and I look forward to embarking on this journey with you again.